Hey, how's it going? So we got one of these Mallard M210RBs. I don't know if anyone's thinking about buying one, but there was some things that I found to be not really that good a quality that I thought I'd probably show, so if you know what to look for when you're going to look at one of these. Most of the stuff's all inside. There ain't really much outside that's an issue, but I'll show you what I got inside. So one of the main flaws that we had with this thing is the shower. The shower wasn't installed correctly. Or the shower pan may have been installed correctly at one point in time, but somewhere along the way, things got messed up. So you see in the bottom there how there's that wrinkle? That is basically a hole that goes right to the wall behind it. It's not sealed up. So that is how it came right when we bought it. You can see there's some silicone stuff in it, but you can see the wall right there. So yeah, that's exposed right to the wall. So the reason that we had that issue was that this block that they put in there is too wide. Instead of trimming it down and making it work, they just shoved it in there anyway. So you can see the gap right there where it used to be. Also, you probably can't tell, but the side of the cabinet is actually stuffed in too. So somebody had to really work at it to get that jammed in there. And that's just part of the quality that you can expect from your Heartland products. So there was that. The toilet. The toilet was leaking in the back. The brand new valve was leaking right off the bat, and had to replace it. It was dripping on the floor. So underneath here, underneath this panel here, or behind this access panel, there are some hoses with some thumb or fittings on it that are threaded fittings, and they were actually loose. Those ones weren't leaking, but I had the ones under the sink were leaking. So we had been camping. Now keep in mind, they did a pressure test on this and they checked to make sure that there were no issues. So under the sink here, oh, by the way, I hope you like the glob of spray foam that you get too. So behind the sink here, you'll see those two fittings right there. Those two fittings were leaking, running right down on the floor and running along the floor and out the door. And I actually noticed it because it was dripping on the ground on the outside. And I traced it back in and I found that they were leaking there. That's something to watch for. Also, this thing right there, the hole was cut too big, so you can't get a second screw in. So that's what you get for a brand new trailer. I mean, there were little things that we didn't notice. It was pulled tight in there, and then when I was tightening those things, I think the hoses moved, and now it's poked out. So I gotta figure out a way to fix that. I gotta make like an outside collar to go around it and make that work. So I've noticed a lot of things around, like holes and stuff, where they cut access holes in the floor. There's just gigantic holes. I don't know if you can see that one. So you probably can't see it, but where those lines come up, there's just a gigantic hole there from the bottom up. So that's going to be a place that mice and stuff are going to get in. So I noticed one there. There's one in the back where the water heater is. There's another one underneath the shower. There's another one underneath behind that access panel there. I don't think there's one behind that access panel. When I had the toilet out, I took those off just to see what was under there. And I did notice a big hole there, big hole under there that I'm gonna have to try to seal up with something to keep rodents out, because there is like a cardboard thing underneath, but it does not do a very good job, if you ask me. There's places where there's just big holes in it. So you can see like the cardboard there, big hole right there. So rodents and stuff will just get right up in there, and they're gonna live in there. And then they can make their way in. So over here, you have the cabinets over here by the door, you can see. None of them are really level. They're all kind of crooked. Unless they are level and everything else is crooked, but they're not. When you're looking at them, they're not exactly level. The two down here, there were two in here. This one right there, you see the dowel I put in, that top one it's not even connected to the wall. So we put stuff in on the shelf above, and it literally just knocked, the shelf dropped down, and the stuff just fell in. So that this side isn't even connected to the wall. So I put the dowel in there to help alleviate that issue. And the same thing with the shelf below it. This one isn't connected to the wall either. So I had to put another dowel under there too, just to keep it from dropping down and being usable. So more quality control as they're pumping these out. Basically, everything in here that could take 2 screws has 1 screw in it. And little things like this screw here, that's stripped. See, it's coming out. Almost every screw in here is stripped. I mean, these ones are all right. That one's stripped. Let's see, where else were we looking? Up here, there's 2 screws. Everyone's got 1 screw there, 1 screw here, 1 screw there, and then another 1 screw over there. Underneath the bed here, there's a little, I don't know if I can get to it. There's a little door right here, little trap door. All the screws in there were stripped right out. I had to put bolts in there because that hinge wasn't even connected anymore. Now keep in mind, this is a brand new trailer. Brand new off the lot that we bought this. And these are all the issues that we had brand new off the lot. I think over here, this one here, that screw right there. See it sticking out? That one's stripped too. So most of the stuff is stripped. Can't remember if these were, those are all right. Most of the screws are stripped or missing them. I don't know which one it was. There was this guy in here, a little duct tape right over the hole there. I don't know where that came from, but that's where it is. So I figure out how to get this off so I can get that out. And yeah, so I mean, aside from the shower is obviously the worst issue. We called about the shower. Yeah, it works now. The gray water tank, the thing would always stay on empty. It wouldn't work at all. Actually, you know what? The gray water didn't even work at all. It lights up now. But at first, it wouldn't light up at all. It wouldn't do anything. And then it started working. So I think the problem was actually in here. It was in the button or something. But now that works. So something else I did notice when I tried to shut off the air conditioner, we were running the heat, so I shut the breaker off for the air conditioner. It's actually not the air conditioner breaker. It's the microwave breaker. So they don't even have it wired up and labeled correctly in the fuse panel either. So something else to think about. But yeah, it's just some of the issues that we've had, little fitment issues, like things like that, things bent. But all in all, just something to look for when you're looking for a trailer. So obviously we should have taken better time looking through it and analyzing all the things, but little stuff like that you're not going to notice. Like, you're not going to notice the hoses like that. You're not going to notice the little screws that aren't really in there right. The shower was difficult to notice when you're standing there because the way you're angled down, it kind of hides it. And usually the doors are closed. You kind of open it up, you look in, you're like, ooh, and then you close the doors and you leave. You don't like investigate, hey, is this put in correctly? Because most people are just going to assume that it is put in correctly. So it's just little things. They say it's like that's your trim for your door. So it's not super quality, but they make them seem like they're made of gold. But anyway, I'm not trying to hammer on them. I'm just trying to give a real world view of what this trailer has and what it entails. And it is pretty messy. We went camping and we cleaned the stuff out. Things got spilt and stuff, like some salt. I got to clean up the salt and things like that. But so right now I'm winterizing it. I blew out all the air lines, drained everything, and yeah, I'm gonna run some antifreeze through and then try to figure. But anyway, so I figured I'd kind of enlighten everyone on what these look like when you actually have them for a little bit. And hope you have a nice day. So while I was replacing my shower in this Mallard, I lifted this up. This wasn't here. I made this plate to kind of cover up the hole. I might put some spray foam or pack some insulation or something in there to kind of keep any types of mice or anything get out that might get between the floors. But anyway, so when I had this lifted up, I noticed it was wet underneath, and this ring right here was actually loose as well. So this was actually dripping inside under the floor also. So just more of the quality control on this Mallard M210RB that you can expect. I don't know if anything's changed, but well, that's how I got it.